In this video, I will be sharing with you the very first assignment that my multi-million dollar earning mentor shared with me. I'm excited to share with you. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where I share tips on entrepreneurism, personal growth and development, and social media marketing. So if you are promoting a product, program, or service on social media, please consider subscribing as I will be coming out with weekly regular content. Now let's get into the video for today. So when I was 18 years old, I started my journey as an entrepreneur. And the very first mentor I ever had was a gentleman that lived on the continent. He actually lived in Utah. He put out an ad in a newspaper looking for people he could mentor who are interested in entrepreneurships and the idea of starting their own businesses. So at that time, I had just graduated from high school. I was looking through the want ads and I saw his ad. So I answered that ad and I met my very first mentor. You know, it happened to be that he was a very successful businessman. He was a multi-million dollar earner in his company, and he was looking for mentees to mentor to do the same as him. So when I first met him, I had no real clue about entrepreneurism. I had just graduated from high school, and coming from Hawaii, we love our families, we love family time, and we love the beach. So I was definitely looking for a job where I could be able to set my own hours and create my own business, so to speak. So for me, it was a no-brainer. When I got connected to him, I was in. Got started with him as a mentee, and the very first thing he asked me to do, the very first assignment he had me do, was go down to a bookstore and purchase this book. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He gave me the title of the book and the author, and he told me to go down to the bookstore and buy the book. Then he told me that he wanted me to go through one chapter before we spoke again. And that chapter was chapter 2, the chapter on desire. So if you have not gotten your hands on this book yet, I will tell you that this book has served as a blueprint for me through my entrepreneurial journey. And that journey started over 20 years ago when I was 18 years old. And now, 20 plus years later, I am building my own business. I am my own boss. I have been able to retire my husband from his full-time job, all because I jumped into this world of entrepreneurism. But no doubt, I needed mentorship and coaching, and this has been a huge blueprint for me in my business building career. So, first off, go out, and if you haven't yet, purchase this book, or you can order it on Amazon and have it mailed to you. I actually have many different copies of this book. This is not the original copy. The original copy is green and white, and I do have that copy as well. But I just went to the bookstore recently. We went down to the mall and I went to Barnes & Noble's and I saw this on sale, so I picked it up. I grabbed it. I have many copies of it. So the first chapter that I want you to read is chapter 2, and that chapter is on desire. Creating that desire in you that will push you to continue on your path of entrepreneurism and achieve all of your goals. You see, a lot of people have the idea that they may want to be an entrepreneur. You may want to be your own boss. You may want to have time freedom. You may want to have financial freedom. You may want to set your own schedule. Sure, you may want to do those things, but when the going gets tough, are you going to stick it out? And in chapter 2 of this book, he actually outlines a process by which you can follow to ensure that when the going gets tough, you never give up. And as an entrepreneur, going's gonna get tough. Expect it. So when you read chapter 2 of this book, you're gonna have that formula outlined for you. The next chapter that I want you to read in this book is chapter 4. Chapter 4 is titled Autosuggestion. And let me actually read from the book, from chapter 4. It says here, "There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought." So basically, chapter 4 on autosuggestion is kind of how to trick your own mind to think the way you need to think so you can get to your goals. See, one of the quotes from this book, it's actually one of my favorite quotes, is whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And that quote was a quote by Napoleon Hill. And what he meant by that is that anything that you can believe can happen, but you have to believe that it can happen. And if you don't believe it, 100%, it's never going to happen. So it all begins with thought. So if you can start to work on your thinking and work on your mind to expand your mind, expand the boundaries of what you believe can happen, then sky's the limit. And that's chapter 4. Now, the last chapter I'm going to bring attention to is chapter 10. And chapter 10 is on the mastermind. This chapter will blow your mind. Now, the mastermind is something that you create when you bring minds together that will all work on the same goal or towards the same purpose to create a win-win outcome for everybody that's involved in the mastermind. You see, when you want to build a business, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you can't do things by yourself. I know entrepreneurs are strong-minded people. We think we can do everything by ourselves. And even though that is true to a certain extent, and the truth is you can't expect other people to do things for you, but when you want to scale your business, grow it big, achieve goals that you've never achieved before, then you're going to have to tap into the mastermind. And honestly, you may be just tapping into it and you might not even know it. So when you read the chapter on the mastermind, you're really going to see the value of connecting with like-minded individuals who are there to work with you harmoniously towards helping you achieve your goal and them achieve theirs. You see, when you bring like-minded individuals together, it's always going to be a win-win if you're all on the same page. And when you read the chapter in chapter 10 on connecting yourself with like-minded individuals, it'll free you a little as an entrepreneur to know that everyone needs help. You, the entrepreneur, needs help, and the other entrepreneur next to you needs help. So when you're able to open your mind to collaborate with people and be open to allow people in your circle to support you and you support them back, amazing things can happen. Now, everything in this book is really cool. All the chapters are awesome. I just gave you a little tidbit of 3 of my most favorite chapters, but I do like all of them. But again, if you're gonna go and get this book, go ahead and immediately crack open chapter 2 on desire, chapter 4 on autosuggestion, and chapter 10 on the mastermind. And I'd love to know what you think. And if you've ever read this book, please drop in the comments what you think of it. Are you a fan? Is this a book you like? Is there another book that you read that you like better than this book? I'd love to know your thoughts on it. All right, guys, it's Brandy here. Thanks so much for visiting with me. Talk to you soon. Aloha.